Now, let us revise menstrual cycle. Gamete formation in females, human female, it is a cyclic activity which takes place at a regular interval of 28 days, and it involves changes in the structure and function of entire reproductive system, and this is called menstrual cycle. Menstruation, it takes place in primates, that is monkey, ape, chimpanzee, including the human females. And the first menstruation at onset of puberty is called menarche, and the stoppage of the menstruation, it is called menopause. The process is divided into three phases. First is the follicular or the proliferating phase, which is for 14 days. इसमें क्या है, anterior lobe of pituitary, it secretes follicle stimulating hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone ये क्या चेक करता है, it stimulates the growth of ovarian follicle and maturation of oocyte. और follicle cells को stimulate करता है to secrete estrogen, and this estrogen, it inhibits the secretion of FSH, and it stimulates the anterior lobe of pituitary to release luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone will stimulate ovulation, और ये किस में हेल्प करता है, to increase in thickness of wall of uterus, plus it helps in elongation and coiling of blood vessel. It also helps in development of glands in the wall of the uterus which secrete the nutritive fluid, and it also stimulates or it helps in increasing the thickness of lining of fallopian tube. The second phase, that is the luteal phase. Now, luteinizing hormone is already being released. Anterior lobe of pituitary secretes another hormone, prolactin. These two hormones, egg release हो चुका है ग्रेफियन फॉलिकल से, पीछे क्या बचे हैं, फॉलिकुलर सेल्स. तो these two hormone they stimulate the formation of a yellow colored body, that is corpus luteum. Corpus luteum क्या secrete करेगी, प्रोजेस्टेरॉन. प्रोजेस्टेरॉन with estrogen, ये आगे it will further continue to increase in thickness of uterine wall and fallopian tube, and it also helps in formation of glandular tissue in the wall of uterus which provide nutritive fluid. और the stoppage of follicle stimulating hormone, ये now इसके डिक्रीज्ड अमाउंट से क्या होता है, बाकी एडिशनल फॉलिकल्स और एग डेवलपमेंट जो है वो स्टॉप हो गया. द थर्ड फेज इज द मेंस्ट्रुअल और द ब्लीडिंग फेज. इसमें दो ऑप्शंस हैं, अगर फर्टिलाइजेशन हो और अगर फर्टिलाइजेशन ना हो. इफ फर्टिलाइजेशन डज नॉट टेक प्लेस, सेकेंडरी oocyte it undergoes autolysis, and the main hormone released is progesterone. Progesterone stops the secretion of luteinizing hormone. Reduction in luteinizing hormone level, it regresses the corpus luteum. क्योंकि कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम को कौन मेंटेन कर रहा था, ल्यूटिनाइजिंग हार्मोन. जैसे ही ल्यूटिनाइजिंग हार्मोन का सिक्रीशन बंद होगा तो कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम विल रिग्रेस. और ये कौन सा हार्मोन रिलीज कर रही थी, प्रोजेस्टेरॉन. प्रोजेस्टेरॉन का कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम के रिग्रेशन से देयर विल बी डिक्रीज इन द सिक्रीशन ऑफ प्रोजेस्टेरॉन. और ये क्या कर रहा था, ये मेंटेन कर रहा था यूटेराइन की थिकनेस को, ब्लड वेसल्स की इलोंगेशन को. जैसे ही प्रोजेस्टेरॉन का लेवल कम होगा तो यूटेराइन लाइनिंग इज स्लग्ड ऑफ, ब्लड वेसल्स दे रप्चर, and the lining of fallopian tube it also breaks down, and this cast of lining of uterus and fallopian tube plus the blood vessels plus the tissue fluid from the glands present in the wall of the endometrium, all these they are not maintained, these are slugged off and they come out through the vaginal opening, and this is known as the menstrual flow, and sometimes it is also known as funeral of unfertilized egg or weeping of the uterus for the lost ovum. Now the lowered level of ईस्ट्रोजन, अभी इन दोनों का प्रोजेस्टेरॉन और ईस्ट्रोजन का जो सिक्रीशन है वो बंद हो चुका है. इट विल अगेन स्टिम्युलेट the anterior lobe of pituitary to secrete follicle stimulating hormone and the cycle begins again. But if fertilization takes place, अगर fertilization होगी तो क्या होगा कि fetus, it gets implanted in the wall of uterus. The trophoblast cells of developing placenta, they will secrete human chorionic gonadotrophin, another hormone. The presence of this hormone in urine, it confirms the pregnancy. And this HCG, it maintains corpus luteum, and corpus luteum then continues to secrete progesterone and estrogen. और क्या होगा? The breakdown, it checks the breakdown of the endometrial lining of uterus. मतलब uterus की lining जो है वो maintained रहेगी. It will not get slugged off, and there will be no menstrual cycle, and absence of menstrual cycle is the first sign of pregnancy. And by the 16th week of pregnancy, the placenta, it is formed and it produces enough progesterone and estrogen for maintenance of normal pregnancy. Now the corpus luteum, it undergoes shrinkage, and along with this you will be drawing this diagram. This, what is this showing? This is the increase in the thickness of uterine wall. This is the wall of the uterus whose thickness is being increased continuously. And what is shown? These are the blood vessels. Blood vessels, they are elongating, and then to accommodate in this space, they are getting coiled also. So this is from day 1. This is the menstrual or the bleeding phase. Yeah, this is how from the after the menstrual phase the thickness goes on increasing. On 14th day ovulation is shown, and then corpus luteum is formed, and this is the wall of the uterus. Here the number of days are written and the different phases are shown. These are the changes in the wall of endometrium during menstrual cycle. Now, in some other individuals,